Ahéhee, 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 Ahéhee. This is my story. Did y'all like that? Yá'át'ééh shik'esto shik'eto shidine. Yue begain ishye na kaiden inishle kia ani bashashin de betlejen dashiteto kabahan dashinale quit egot nadlehen ishne to nadin hastkan shanahe tkodenejen de nasha de tovangar de kehashtke. Hello my friends, family, and my people. My name is Yue Begay, as you probably saw from the channel trailer earlier. I am of the Nomadic People clan, born for the Towering House clan. My maternal grandfather's clan is of the Black Sheep clan, and my paternal grandfather's clan is of the Near the Water's Edge clan. So this is how I identify as a Navajo transgender woman. I am currently 26 years old. I am from the Navajo Nation from Kayenta, Arizona, and I live what is currently known as Los Angeles, California right now. Happy White Man's New Year, yes! I say that because us Navajos, we had our New Year's back in October 2019, I think. Yeah, during the new moon. So us Navajos, we've been had our New Year's. But for the rest of y'all, if this is your time celebrating your New Year's, Happy New Year, Happy 2020. I didn't want to make videos until now because the holidays during the end of 2019 was very hectic for me. I had a lot of things planned, I had a lot of things going on for me, as I imagine it was for you all. Yeah, I just had a bunch of things I had to do. Some things came up, so my videos for the most part got put on pause. But I digress. 2019 for me was such a phenomenal, exciting new year. If I could list some of the things that went on, I think for the first thing I would have to say that happened early on in 2019 was that I went to my first Bates powwow in San Francisco, California. For those of you who don't know, Bates is the Bay Area American Indian Two-Spirit Society powwow in San Francisco, California. It's the largest Two-Spirit powwow in the nation, probably the whole entire world. It's the largest Two-Spirit powwow that happens. Lots of folks from many different nations go there, many different tribes go there. Yeah, it was a very amazing, fun time. Oh my God, Bates powwow was so surreal. It was an amazing experience for me because I think it's something when you see your own indigenous people, your own Two-Spirit people, in their own regalia, in their own clothing. Let me say this. It's one thing to see your people every day, see them doing everyday stuff, but it's another separate thing when you see your own Two-Spirit people, your own indigenous people, you know, dressed up in their regalia, beat for days. They got the mug on. Like even the humor, the jokes, just the atmosphere of the Bates powwow, it was just so amazing because people like me, who grew up like me, who are also indigenous as well, it was just so amazing, so phenomenal just to see a bunch of, just, just to see a lot of folks like you around. And y'all laugh, y'all get each other's references. I think Bates powwow, that was Bates powwows for me. It was very, very, very intriguing. Another aspect I liked about the Bates powwow was that because there were so many Two-Spirit people there were many professionals there were many, you know, many teachers, many healers. And so in that sense, I got to network with a lot of folks there. And you know how we Native people do, how we network. It's not really, let me give you my card, I'll give you your, or you'll give me your card. It was more like we sat down, we formed circles, we laughed. You know, we had music, we had song and dance, and you know, that's how us Native people, that's how we network. That's kind of how we get to know each other more on that one-on-one, more of a social, more close connection type of basis. Anyways, actually going back this year to the Bates powwow 2020, I personally think that you should go there if you're indigenous, or especially if you're Two-Spirit, if you're indigiqueer, if you are just indigenous LGBTQ+, if you are just, or even if you're not queer and indigenous, I feel like you should go because it's the largest, again, it's the largest Two-Spirit powwow in the nation, probably the whole entire world. where something like this can be experienced, where this can be viewed for, and take it as you see it, take it as you experience it. So I really think you should go, especially if you are young, if you are a young Two-Spirit youth, or if you're a young a Native youth and you're questioning kind of where you're at right now in life. Definitely go to Bates Powell if you can. Let's see, another thing that happened in 2019 was, oh my gosh, so in February last year, I also came out to my boyfriend's family. Um, a girl, ooh, that was so surreal. Oh my God. So, God, just that coming out process again was so nerve wracking. It was just so like you weren't sure how the situation would go or how the situation would turn out. Um, Oh, and so for those of you who, this is your first time meeting me, I have a boyfriend. We've been together about a little over 7 years. We met in 2012. But yeah, I have a boyfriend, and last year, 2019, February, I came out to his family as transgender. But anyways, yeah, that was the thrilling experience that I did in 2019. Maybe I'll make a video about that. We'll see if you would all maybe like to see that. Let me know. Yeah, that was one thing I think was that was a highlight in 2019. I'm not gonna say much now, but all I gotta say is I'm happy, I'm content, and I am fulfilled. Oh, and another thing that I did in 2019 was that me and a couple of other Indigenous folks, a couple of other Two-Spirit and Indigenous LGBTQI folks, we actually opened up Los Angeles Pride. I think the reason why this is more of a highlight for me was because LA Pride is one of the most prestigious prides um, in the Pride circuit around the US. And to have the LA Pride's executive director and all their other higher ups not only provide space for you and accommodate to you, but just to go out of their way to purposefully and intentfully invite Indigenous folks to open up that space. Um, I just thought it was just so fucking amazing because I've never experienced anything like this. For those of you who might know me a little bit more, you know that my experience with a lot of Pride events isn't really good, just because I've had some bad experiences at Pride events regarding indigeneity and stuff like that. So, but anyways, with LA Pride, it was so amazing because just the higher ups, even the executive director of the LA Pride, like they personally reached out to us, created space, and said, "Girl, whatever you need, we got you. Just let us know. Here's my personal cell phone number, girl." And oh my God, it was just so amazing. But yeah, with LA Pride, all I gotta say is, to me, LA Pride is the only Pride event that I've witnessed, that I've heard about, that intentionally and purposely reached out to its indigenous folks to open up space. So expect to see that video coming up soon. Oh, wait, I forgot to talk about this. In December of 2018, not really 2019, but in December of 2018, at the end of the year, I actually competed in the Quest pageant here in Los Angeles. And if you know what the Quest pageant is, it is the pageant that's hosted by APAIT here in Los Angeles. And unlike some other pageants, Quest pageant is more of a transgender advocacy pageant. It's not really so much of a beauty pageant. Even though I was serving some looks when I competed. But anyways, it's more of a transgender advocacy pageant, and so when you compete, they're not really looking for beauty. They're not really looking for kind of superficial things. Uh, the judges, when you do your whole processes and your interview, when you go through the whole entire thing, what they're looking for is someone who has done a lot of advocacy work and activist work, specifically within the trans community. And so, for me, I competed in the Miss Quest 2019 pageant, and yo girl, me, snatched the crown. I have the crown of the Miss Quest 2019, girl. Yes. I say all that because in June of 2019 as well, as I told y'all before, that's also when LA Pride is. And if you've been to any type of Pride event anywhere, you know that the Pride event is also it's also accompanied by a parade. And so for me, let's see, APIT, the people who host the Quest pageant, APIT, they had me, Miss Quest 2019, and they had the other person who won the Mr. or Mix Quest 2019. You know, we got on top of this beautiful, gorgeous, candy red Mustang, and you know, it was hot as fuck. It was such an amazing experience. It was just so amazing because me and the person who won the Mixed Quest 2019, me and him, we were sitting in the car, we were waving at people, and just seeing the crowd like look at us and just being kind of like in the center of attention. And it was just so surreal because for me, I was, you know, dressed up in my Navajo woman traditional outfit. I had the crown on, and it was just such a phenomenal, beautiful experience. Anyways, so kind of to wrap up with the whole LA Pride parade thing that I got to be in. I'll probably say that for another video as well, since I don't really want to go too in depth in that. But I'll say that video for another time. Definitely. So stay tuned. Yeah. Also, another thing that happened in 2019 was that your girl got a promotion, girl. Yes. I got a promotion at work, and I think that was so phenomenal, so life-changing for me because I've never gotten a promotion before, like ever. I just thought it was just so amazing that my boss and the other, you know, supervisors, they saw my work ethic. They saw how hard that I was putting in the work, how dedicated I was, how passionate I was for the work. And, you know, they said, we see you, girl. We see you, UA. We see you, Miss Thing. We see you, Miss Quest 2019. If it was another crown you snatched, girl, here's a promotion, girl. Bam. So that was another thing that I thought was cool. I'll probably speak about this in another video just because the whole dynamics of the situation was kind of interesting. It was interesting, I'll say that. But yeah, definitely another video I'll be making toward the near future. Also in 2019, the organization that I am part of outside of my main work, outside of my main job, is an organization called Indigenous Pride LA. So Indigenous Pride LA, they are Los Angeles' only pride event that honors, celebrates, acknowledges Two-Spirit, Indigiqueer, and Indigenous LGBTQI, you know, identities, culture, heritage, what have you. All of that, Indigenous Pride LA is a place to be for that. It is an organization that was started for Indigenous people, specifically for Two-Spirit, Indigiqueer, and LGBTQI people. If you want to receive more information about that, I will definitely link their website in the description box below. So yeah, check them out. In 2019, Indigenous Pride LA, we had our Indigenous Pride LA Pride events. The big event that we all kind of worked towards. And last year we had it in I forgot what day it was. It's the Sunday before Indigenous Peoples Day. We've always had it that way. But anyways, in 2019, we've had our second annual Indigenous Pride LA event. And I got to say that it was such a huge success. I mean, it was just so successful in many ways. The venue was perfect. The location was perfect. The actual programming of I guess the actual day, like the actual programming, actually went by smooth. It was very, you know, we had hiccups here and there, but overall, like everything just like it just worked itself out. Even though like stuff stuff was going, we're like, oh, where's these people at? Where's these people at? We need these people on right now. But just, I don't know, it just went by so smooth. Even though it was hectic for us on the organizing part, I think if you were outside looking in, it just went by very smooth. In addition, there was like no, to me, at least stuff that I didn't hear or pick up, there was no drama or no shade like any other Pride events. It's just that everything about last year's Indigenous Pride LA Pride event, it was just so perfect. Everything just went so perfect. So we, the Indigenous Pride LA Planning Committee, we are actually planning on going bigger and better in 2020 of this year. So be sure to stay tuned on that. If you would like to receive more information about Indigenous Pride LA, you can feel free to follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And again, I will link those links or those profiles in the description below as well. And in addition to having a successful Indigenous Pride LA 2019 Pride event, if it didn't seem like I was already receiving enough blessings as it was for the year 2019, baby, the holy people were like, Yue, we not done with you, girl. You have more blessings on the way. So one thing that happened in 2019 was at the end of 2019, when we had our debriefing meeting after the main event happened, I got elected unanimously. I got elected the new co-chair of Indigenous Pride LA. Oh my God, yes! Like I was so shocked to hear my name being nominated for the co-chair position, just because I don't know. I definitely feel like I definitely feel like that imposter syndrome where like you don't think you think you're not that good, but when the community says bitch you are that good, like to me that was so not only validating, but it was empowering. It was very empowering to know that my own committee, the Indigenous Pride LA committee, that they saw my work ethic, that they saw the work that I was putting in, that they that they said, bitch, you that girl. We want you to be the co-chair with our other co-chair. We think both of y'all will be a powerhouse together, and this is why we're electing you. And so during the deliberating, when folks were after my name been nominated, and folks were like, okay, well, what do you think about this person or this person or this person? When it got to my name, I was kind of like prepared for the read, girl. I was prepared for the read, but to my surprise, it was just a lot of positive affirmations. It was a lot of positive things that they said to me. And I think that in and of itself was just a thrilling experience, because there are some folks on that committee who are a lot older than me, a lot experienced than me, a lot more knowledgeable than me. And it was just very refreshing and very empowering to know that they want me as their co-chair. And so back to the deliberation, when they were deliberating, saying all these positive things, when it actually came time to vote for the co-chair, it was another thing to see, like, all of those in favor of UA being our co-chair, and to see all their hands, do this, all their hands go up. It was such a beautiful moment. It was such a beautiful moment that it was a unanimous decision. It was such a beautiful thing to see that, my committee, my people, they wanted me. But, in addition to being elected the co-chair, it also dawned on me the responsibilities I had, the new stuff that I had to be aware of, and just, the things that go along with being a co-chair of an organization. So that was another highlight of 2019. And lastly, for 2019, the last highlight I would have to say is I finally got my ass motivated to finally get this darn YouTube channel up and running. For those of you who know me, I've been speaking about having this YouTube channel for a while. I've been kind of talking, I'm gonna do it this, and there. Years ago, I've been trying to say that I was gonna do it, but never really got to it for a myriad of reasons. I think some of the reasons were that, it was never the right time. The other thing that I want to do is I also wanted to, in the process of me trying to figure out ways to deliver the video, in my process of trying to deliver the video or how to curate it, I also got lost in, how can I make this more witty? How can I make this more funny? How can I make this more intellectual? Stuff like that. And so that was also one of the reasons why I never really did started videos in the past. And in addition, let's humble ourselves, UA. In addition, I wanted high quality videos. I wanted high quality audio while being a broke ass bitch. I think it was, yeah, I was just like, I was demanding a lot and I didn't really have a lot at the time. So that was another reason why I had to put the videos on hold because, I was just like, nah, UAE not going to do that. You not that type of person. You're not the type of person who puts out half-ass content. I made videos on Facebook in the past, but for the most part, the YouTube thing had to be put on hold. Some shit had happened, and also I feel like in addition to all of those, I feel like the most top reason why I didn't want to make videos yet until now is because I feel like I wasn't mature enough. I feel like I wasn't knowledgeable enough. I feel like if I did make videos and all that, it would be a lot of arrogant and a lot of ignorant stuff that I would have talked about. Because believe it or not, Miss Yue, me, yo girl, was problematic. I like that word. I was problematic when I was younger. I said a lot of things that I wasn't proud of. I did a lot of things that I wasn't proud of. But, hey, like the rest of you, I've learned and grew from my mistakes. Anywho, so here's my YouTube channel. Finally, I'm so happy it's up and running. Speaking of YouTube channel, this YouTube video, I kind of wanted the main portion of this video, to be more about what you can expect to find on my channel. Even though we just got done talking about my 2019 recap moments, I kind of want to be the meat and potatoes of this video to be more about what you can expect on my channel. In addition to what you can expect, what topics, what videos I'll be making, things of that nature. Anyways, to sum it all up, I feel like 2019 was definitely a year of seed planting, and now in 2020, I can definitely see and smell opportunities coming from my hard work in 2019. I can definitely feel that the seeds that I planted in 2019 are beginning to unfurl and break through the soil, and just a lot of opportunities that I have in the near future. And also, I do have gigs. I already have gigs booked. So that's another wonderful thing in 2020 that's upcoming. And some of these gigs were kind of planned, worked for, and strategized in 2019. Without further ado, let's get into it. First and foremost, like many YouTube channel, my channel is definitely going to reflect the intersectionalities of my life. As I've introduced in the beginning of this video, I am a Navajo transgender woman, or I'm a trans woman of Indigenous experience, or I'm an Indigenous woman of trans experience. However you want to code or word it, there's many layers to my life in that regard. There's many layers. I am a multifaceted individual. So kind of with the videos that I'll be making and topics I'll be discussing will also be taken from my life experiences. And in addition, the reason why I kind of want to do videos about the intersectionalities of my life is because, that's kind of how we Native people do. That's kind of how we are. We like stories. We thrive on stories. We like learning from stories, especially in our creation narratives. We like hearing about certain characters, make mistakes, grow, develop, learn teachings, do all of this stuff because in mirroring that action, we like to apply some of those teachings and knowledge in our creation narratives to our lives, to how we conduct ourselves, to our behaviors, even to our thinking. that's kind of how I want to mirror this channel as well, is kind of me telling about my life, and then, y'all can take it however you want to take it. I also want Native people to know that they are seen, that they are valid, um, that their culture and their knowledge is valid, especially Two-Spirit, Indigiqueer, and LGBTQ folks who are Indigenous. I really want to reach out more to the youth, just because I feel like a lot of youth, especially on the reservations, I feel like a lot of queer, I guess, youth, I don't know if I want to say that, but a lot of youth who are questioning or exploring their sexual orientation, gender identity expressions, what have you. I feel like a lot of youth on the res, they don't really see themselves in media. They don't really have an outlet to, because a lot of us, because I was young once living on the reservations, and I feel like if I heard someone make it out or be more successful and healthy and thriving, that I feel like my life would have turned out a little bit more better. So in that regards, for me, I'm always trying to think about all the, all the little UAs out there, all the little trans, gay, queer, what have you, Native folks on the reservations who are still exploring and trying to figure themselves out. And in that journey, I kind of want to be there to be someone who will tell them that you're not alone, that your experiences, no matter how good, no matter how bad, no matter how blessed, or even no matter how horrible your experiences, how horrible your life experiences are, so, stuff like that you are still valid. You are still, you're still valid. I, you are seen, you are valid, you are being heard, and stuff like that. Also, in addition, reason why I kind of want my video to reach more to Native youth is because, I'm 27, so for the most of my life, I was a youth. I was a youth on the res. Uh, and also when I was youth, when I was in my youth, I should say, when I was in my youth was on the reservation. And so growing up on the reservation was also a time of me exploring my identity and navigating queerness, or more specifically, transness. If I say queer, it just basically means that anything that is not Judeo, Christian, patriarchal, cisgender, heteronormative, things of that nature. Because that's the only word I can think of. It's the only Bilagana or the only white man word I can think of that encompasses, if not captures, what I'm trying to say. Also, if any of these words that I just said are triggering you in a bad way, then maybe this channel isn't for you. But if you would like to stay and get to know me more and get to find out more about my life, I do appreciate that as well. Also, in addition to reaching out to youth, I do feel like with my stories, I do feel like, on one end of me being queer, I'm navigating my transness and on the other hand of me being indigenous is me navigating res life. Because I do personally feel like there's a huge difference between life on the reservation versus life in the city or life in urban areas. Take it from someone who grew up on the res and is now living in one of the most largest metropolitans in the world, that being Los Angeles. Other things that you can expect to find on my channel is topics of indigeneity. So what does it mean to be indigenous? What does it mean to be Native American? What does it mean to be American Indian? Or even in my case, what does it mean to be Navajo? Definitely going to be talking about sex work, feminism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, colonization, and with that, history. I do foresee that this channel will rely heavily on history just because I feel like when you talk about, especially when I'm going to be talking about the things that I'm going to be talking about, there's always has to be a historical context to everything that I am going to be talking about, even as far as my even my life. My life is historical in some sense. Even talking about recent history, because I do feel like recent history, more modern recent history, has profoundly affected Indigenous people in many ways as well. In addition, I feel like, the way things are going right now with society, I feel like the way things socially and politically, the way things are going right now, I do see that also having an influence on how my YouTube channel will be curated as well, the various topics I'll be talking about. So also stay tuned for that. I will not be putting out, regularly scheduled videos like other YouTubers. Even though this channel is a YouTube channel, I don't consider myself a YouTuber. So in that regard, I'm not, I'm not making any coin off of any of the videos that I am going to create. I don't feel like I'm going to make any coin off the videos I'm going to create because just the nature of the videos that I'm going to be making, the content of it, I feel like it's not very, I guess it's not very ad friendly. I feel like not a lot of folks would want to monetize my videos, even if I did. Um, so in that way, I'm not making any coins off of these. So because of that, I'm not going to be having regularly scheduled videos. I'm just going to be putting out videos as I see fit and, when I want them to go out and how I want to curate them as well. In addition, I'm also not going to be putting out videos just because I'm so busy with a lot of things in my life that if I do make videos, I do want to have A, the time, B, the energy, and C, the desire to make videos. Because I feel like if I'm going to make videos, I want these videos to be, top notch, I guess. I want these videos to be very intentional, very purposeful, very thought out, very planned, and also well executed. I don't want to be putting any half-ass content on my channel. Um, yes, so that's also not who I am. I'm not really someone who puts out half-ass things. Just because I am somewhat of a perfectionist myself as well. So, speaking of coins, one way that you can support me is to become a patron on my Patreon, which will also be in the description box below. Um, in this way, if you do support me and become a patron, I can invite other folks to my channel, pay their gas, maybe even lodging. I can probably fly out to places. So much more things that I feel like I can do if I have the support of the community, which is y'all. Because as much as I want this YouTube channel to be about me, I also want to hear and engage with other Indigenous people, other Two-Spirit people, and kind of uplift their voices. Now, even though I do got a job, um, I am living out here in LA, so the cost of living out here in LA is very high. So the money that I'm making with my job right now, um, it's enough for me to do my own personal stuff. But if I wanted to do these other things, like I just said, I feel like I would need more supplemental funding like that. I would need more supplementing, and that's kind of where my Patreon would come into. So if you would like to see me do a lot more things with my channel, you know, tip your girl. I'm Navajo, so we accept EBT. We accept WIC. No, I'm just kidding. We barter, we trade. No, I'm just kidding. Um, Unfortunately, in this capitalist Western society, it is driven and motivated by money. So I do need money or some type of funding to accomplish these additional supplemental things. However, if you do feel like gifting me a couple of things, maybe something moves you with one of my videos or something like that, I think in the future I might set up something like a PO box or something for that nature. Um, yeah, I only foresee me doing that if there is a need for that. If it's not, then that's cool. But you know, if you can't send any type of monetary financial help, then, you know, gifting is, I also accept that. That's kind of what we Native people have been doing throughout the days. If you appreciate something or if you appreciate someone, that's kind of what we do is we give gifts, kind of out of admiration, or, you know, just this is just something we made, something that we bought, and we would like you to have it because it's a physical, material kind of sign of our affection or of our gratitude. So this is for you. And you know, it doesn't have to be money. It can even just be like, hey girl, I ain't got no money, so I have some raw materials growing on the land that I'm living on right now, so I can fix you up something, I can make you up something. Just give me a PO box. I will gladly accept that. Oh, and one more thing, let me not forget to say this. Um, Disclaimer, just because the trailer to this video was very elegant, it was very beautiful, it was very poised, it was very graceful. Um, do not, I repeat, do not expect me to bow down to respectability politics. I'm a 27-year-old Indigenous trans woman from the Navajo people, and in that short lifetime, I've bear witness that respectability politics ain't save a goddamn soul at all. Respectability politics has not helped anyone in the least. Um, so because of that, I will be curating videos as I see fit. Being that I am unapologetically Indigenous, I'm unapologetically Navajo, Diné, I'm unapologetically feminine, and most of all, I'm unapologetically Two-Spirit or Natlahe. Expect to see some cussing, as you probably already heard it throughout this whole entire video. Also expect to hear some triggering life stories, some life event stories throughout my life, and just other things, because I think for me, I'm so tired of assimilating and accommodating and catering to, and also trying to make my life palatable to the colonizing white Judeo-Christian patriarchal cisgender heteronormative colonizers. Like, I don't like doing that with myself, so I'm not going to do that here on. Lastly, if there are any videos or any questions that you'd like for me to answer or have to make a video about, please comment, please at me on my Instagram and Twitter. Those will also be in the description box below as well. Anyways, that's it for now. I hope you all stay and want to learn more about the content that I will be putting out in the upcoming years. If you made it this far in the video, please comment down below at what age did you learn that Christopher Columbus was a genocidal maniac and not the proud explorer who contributed to science. I appreciate all of you watching, and remember, Hojongo Nasha, Hojongo Nanana, and Hojongo Nekai. Yahet, Hagonet. Bye.